We're going to move on and talk about a serious topic, and that is now the rising trend in vaping is becoming, we know, a growing concern amongst parents, and we know it's a teenagers are doing it.
For sure. So joining us this morning is a prevention education manager with the Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge, Sadie Holland. Good morning, Sadie. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, as Alex said, this is on the minds of so many people, whether you know a teenager, and it's not just teenagers,
right.
But talk a little bit about what you guys do. What's the point behind your organization?
Yeah, so we have a prevention program from Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge called Know the Truth, and so we have a team of young people who are in recovery. They go into high schools and middle schools and share a prevention message, but also their personal stories. And so really, we just want to educate students, especially as these trends are increasing, on the true dangers and maybe clear up any misconceptions, because I think with teens, a lot of it is misinformation as well.
Sure. I think the misinformation is that initially when it first came out, that it was a healthier version. It was healthier than smoking, but of course it is nicotine, and some kids are vaping pot as well.
Yeah.
What have you seen as far as health concerns that, well, actually we've been hearing about more teens getting lung infections?
Yeah, so you're hearing a lot about teens being admitted to the emergency room or having some cold and flu-like symptoms, and it's because of all of the toxins that they're ingesting with those vapes. And so we just want parents and teens both to kind of know what those true risks are. And it hasn't been out long enough to see what those long-term effects are, but really it's still the tobacco industry, it's still nicotine, and like you said, they're smoking marijuana, a lot of it too.
So obviously I would think if the idea too that you have teens, their peers talking to them, so it's not coming down from mom and dad, right, where it's like yeah mom and dad. It's a teen who said, look, I was doing this too not that long ago, I understand. Right. Do you think, is that the hope, that they connect maybe?
Yeah, and just hearing from someone who's not telling them not to do it, but saying, hey, here's what happened to me when I chose to do it, and I really don't want the same thing to happen to you. And so we hope that with our program and our presenters being vulnerable, it gives the teens an opportunity to do the same and feel like they can connect with resources and share their own struggles too.
Okay, Sadie, if you can, for a lot of parents, maybe whose kids aren't teenagers, maybe grandparents, people who are unfamiliar with actually vaping devices. Let's talk. You brought a number of items here. What do we have? We're starting here at this
so
box.
This one on the end here is just straight nicotine, liquid nicotine, and so that would be used for someone who's maybe a little more experienced, but who would create their own flavored vape juices. But along here, these are the flavors that are most popular with teens. So you see fruity mango, sour raspberry, like it's named like
bubble
candy.
gum, cotton
very,
candy,
very targeted at youth. And then there's
look at the amount, by the way, I'm sorry, look at the amount of the tobacco.
Yeah, so it comes in different potencies. And so one of these bottles here is equivalent to 125 cigarettes. And so someone could go through that in a matter of a few days or a few weeks. It really just depends on how much they're smoking. This is the Juul that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. But that's what's really popular with teens right now.
So these little cartridges.
Yep, the little cartridges, the little one with the orange top there is worth about 20 cigarettes.
Okay, and then what's this right here?
These are different styles of vapes, and so more examples that are still popular with teens. Again, the flavoring, very target marketed at youth with good flavors and candy flavors.
This is pretty interesting. I feel like we definitely want to talk about this. I had never seen this. I don't know if you had
looks
seen
like
this,
a hoodie,
Alex.
right?
It looks like a hoodie, right? So, okay, I'm going to order this online. I'm going to wear this to school or wherever, but it's not just a hoodie.
Right. So you there's a vape that sticks right down here, so you can choose either side that you want it in, and the pipe goes up around the hood, and then they smoke out of this.
Right here.
So they could be using it in class. It comes long sleeve, and then the trick is they blow the smoke down into their sleeve, and it dissipates. And so it's really a lot easier to get away with it, essentially.
Wow. I think for a lot of parents, and we know they're going to the school year, teachers, it really is difficult sometimes to really know when kids are vaping. The one thing you mentioned, the smell, but what are some of the other symptoms? Like, for instance, if you have concerns that your teenager or somebody that you know or one of your students is vaping, what are things people can look for?
Yeah, so warning signs for parents, I would guess, is one, just have that open conversation, but also where are kids keeping it? Is it in their car? Is it in their backpack? Are they protecting their backpack? It doesn't go, they don't go anywhere that it doesn't go. Checking kind of their spending. We hear a lot of kids will sell their clothes and use apps like Venmo or PayPal where there's no cash transactions to be able to turn around and purchase these things online. So kind of just being able to monitor.
And coughing.
And coughing, yeah.
You guys have a booth here at the fair, so that's great if someone's here. But if they're not coming today, but they still want to get some information, what can they do? Where can they go?
Yeah, so they can go to our website. It's knowthetruthmn.org, and we have a site specific for vaping resources for teens, or they can access it through the Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge website as well.
Sadie, thank you so much.
Thanks for having
I really
me.
appreciate your time.
Thanks.